Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean's expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This power in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Like having Sean Callaghan,
we're working through it.
Doesn't happen very often.
Yes, we are working through technical dynamics. Even Tony Robbins' Business Mastery went down last night. We'll be on in a moment. So Gina, let's hit it with these amazing people. Happy Thankful Thursday. We'll lean in on a fun fact in a minute.
Okay. Wow. This is incredible.
Okay, let's go, Gina. No, okay. Let's go.
Come on, Gina.
Yes. Okay. We're going to.
Come on, Gina.
We have extraordinary people here today. First up, this man, he is incredible. His name is John Paul Rice. He began his film career working on Jerry Bruckheimer's Remember the Titans. Again, my favorite movie. This came up yesterday here, didn't it? And it's incredible. He was also on We Were the Soldiers that was starring Mel Gibson. He then in 2001 landed a position at the LA film production company led by industry veteran Joseph Drake, who is the executive producer of Hunger Games, among many others. And he formed his own entertainment company in 2008, producing many critically acclaimed films, one being A Child's Voice, a supernatural film. A teen who answers a child calling out for help and is sent on a journey to find a human trafficking network run by the child's killer. His films tell bold, authentic, real-life stories in the face of uncertainty with a hope and love for a better world. And his team right now, Sean, is preparing for their 7th feature film called Game Day, a coming-of-age football story for a 50-year-old father and husband who's losing control of his family. And lastly, I can't go without saying this. He put a video out last year. I believe it's upwards of 80 million people having gone viral that have seen him. So if you've seen him, anyone here, he's an extraordinary, heart-centered, integrous man. Welcome, John Paul. It's a privilege that you're here.
I hope I can follow up that very much. It's really a pleasure to be here with you, Gina.
Yeah, John, thank you for your extraordinary work in the world, man. And for your courage, your vulnerability, your integrity, you're taking a stand. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. And what's your fun fact, man?
My fun fact?
Yes.
Fun fact about myself. Wow. Well, I've lived many lives. I guess you could say I never finished college, and I went on to make millions of dollars for other people. And I think I want to take the skills and apply them to my own company now.
Awesome. And John, by the way, if you've lived many lives, then you're a friend of Bella Verita's. There's like woo people all over the place, Bella. The dude's lived many lives. I don't know if he means what you mean by many lives, but we'll see.
Chances are it could be someone.
John, thank you for being here today, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gina, who we got?
We have Mr. Michael Hoffman. He's the founder of the Hoffman Centers, where he has been practicing primarily in municipal court defense and expanding into regulation of the cannabis industry. He is involved in the New Jersey State Bar Association, holding many roles, and was nominated for the Municipal Court Practitioner of the Year, and is a founder of a nonprofit organization to promote fellowship among lawyers in honor of his late partner and father, and has twice argued before the U.S. Supreme Court. Sean, welcome, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you. Sean, I wanted to mention about our backgrounds, as I know you can't see my background. It's the conference room at the U.S. Supreme Court, which I think is one of the most important rooms. But I had more of a question about your background than anything else, because I'm a big hockey memorabilia collector, and I saw behind your head that there's a pair of skates, and I didn't know whose skates they were.
Yes, that is a pair of skates signed by the 1980 Miracle on Ice U.S. Olympic team.
That's what I figured because of the jersey as well. And I zoomed in on your picture when I pinned you to look in to see what it was. Because my fun fact that I can give you is that I own the desk that was used by Bob Clark when he was general manager of the Flyers. I bought it, and I actually ended up getting it out of my mom's car out of impound after the police pulled me over and impounded the vehicle. That's a long story.
Well, I love it, Michael. Thank you for that. Quick fun fact as well. I am certainly a sports enthusiast. I am blind, but I went blind over time from retinitis pigmentosa. I was captain of my college baseball team at Columbia University, had been told I was going to go pro. I was 4-year college starter, et cetera, et cetera. So I am a sports enthusiast on many different levels for many different reasons. I am a marginal hockey fan, but what I love so much about the 1980 Miracle on Ice team is I believe that they are literally the greatest example of possibility in the history of organized team sport. I often say, and this is a fun influence mastery dynamic of creating context and contrast, that what they did would be probably less likely than a Chinese college all-star basketball team from the 1990s, when basketball would have been less prevalent in China than now, beating the dream team of Michael Jordan, if that dream team played together year-round, nonstop as one cohesive unit. And that sports upset, I believe personally, created a shift in the energy of this country, a ripple effect shift that literally changed the course of history and was not correlated to eventually the collapse of the Soviet Union. I actually believe all that. I may be crazy, but I could, if I had an hour, I would articulate all the reasons why I think that is not as crazy as it sounds. And I had the unique privilege of talking to Mike Eruzione, the captain of that team. If you ever watched the movie Miracle, he is on the podium. Everybody's hugging him. He scored the winning goal. He was the captain of the team, and I got to share all those things with Mike in about an hour-long phone conversation that was mind-numbing. And we're hoping to do some beautiful things with Mike, because I have so much respect for him, Herb Brooks, and everything they did. So thank you so much for that access, Michael, and bringing that up. And it's a privilege and honor to have you here in your United States Supreme Court arguing this and all the things that you're standing for in the world.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And can I ask this question? Don't you have a unique Instagram handle or something like that? Or am I wrong about that?
I don't think so. It's the Hoffman Centers. I called myself THC, the Hoffman Centers, because I have a little bit of fun with the cannabis law area. So that was intentional.
Yeah, that was okay.
That was absolutely
My
intentional.
favorite subject.
Yeah, so I did have that dynamic of the TH. So that's what I was thinking about. And so yes, Bella Verita would like to talk to you and be a great friend of yours, Michael.
Well, then Bella's going to really enjoy the role she's playing. Let's just put it that
way. Michael, that's all.
Some fun.
Welcome. So I love this. So Gina, we got John, we got Michael, we got some judges for today. Who do we got?
Oh man, we have Nicole Scott. She's the president and founder of the Bay Area Women Against Violence, WAV Inc., and is proud of rebuilding her life from losing everything due to job loss and domestic violence. From my heart to yours, sister. So glad that you're here. She established her business in March of 2020 to help rebuild her life. And it all starts with your personal credit. Personal credit is our foundation, and without a solid foundation, we cannot build. So she helps people rebuild their credit, among many other things. So welcome, Nicole Scott.
Nicole, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, guys. That's so awesome.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
Oh man, I'm so blessed. Like I tell everyone every day, like every day for me now is just such a true blessing. Like I was so miserable in life. I've always had a pretty good life, and I've always had really good credit. And then I met this gentleman, and he was just the devil in disguise. And one day I went to work in 2016. They told me that the company was shutting down. So I lost my job. I was there for over 10 years. I was a VP of operations, I lost everything. Then I was home every day with my abuser. So it was even 10 times worse. So a lot of what people are going through now with COVID, I went through that in 2016, 2017. By 17, I lost everything. My house, cars, everything. I was just a mess. So I literally had to get away from him and then rebuild my life with nothing. I was literally living on family members' couches. I couldn't qualify for anything. Like it was just horrible, and that's what really got me into helping other people, because I realized so many people are going through it now. And it's funny because, well, it's not funny, but it's weird that I decided to do this, because I decided to do it prior to COVID. And then when COVID hit, I said, oh, wow, this is really going to be my calling.
Honor to have you here. Thank you so much. And we have a member of our Unblinded Elite that's also from California. Her name is Jacqueline Franchetti. And Jacqueline, I had the privilege of meeting her at Tony Robbins Business Mastery. Her team won in 2018. And Jacqueline has recently been a force leading the cause of passing legislation with regard to domestic violence in a variety of different states and related to children, protecting kids, because her daughter, and not to take this to this place, but it's in honor of Jacqueline, she's extraordinary. Jacqueline's ex-husband, despite the fact she was articulating this to the court, to the judge, allowed her daughter to go with her soon-to-be ex-husband, who murdered her daughter and then killed himself, burning them both in a fire. So Jacqueline has been on a warrior's trail with love and light. And I think she was on major news shows recently. This happened a number of years ago, but she's just been causing change in legislation in the state of New York, other places around the country, getting a ton of notoriety. So that might be somebody that you'd be interested in connecting with at some point, Nicole.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I actually reached out to a few organizations last week just saying, hey, I know you guys are getting calls from women. Pass them my way if you can, but it's hard to get to the top with COVID now, because a lot of the operators, they have to transfer and people don't answer. So I'm just kind of waiting for callbacks, because I know when I was going through my situation, I didn't have any support. Like I was living on family members' couches, and everywhere that I called, because I'm in California, so everywhere that I called, there was no help available. There was no help available. There was no shelters available. There was nothing. So one of my goals with helping people repair their credit is also starting, a transitional housing program for women to come while they're going through that period, because some women don't have anywhere to go. And if I didn't have a family member's couch to lay on, where would I have gone?
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And
absolutely,
you're in the right place, because there's a way to get to those people. And we'll talk more about that today. So thank you. Awesome. Gina, we got some people to roll with Nicole.
Ooh. Wow. Okay. Just chills everywhere. So glad you're here, Nicole. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Nicole, we have another Nicole. Nicole Levine began her real estate career in Las Vegas, by the way, in 2006, and has been a multi-million-dollar producing sales professional, earning accolades such as Leading Edge Society and Pinnacle Sales Executive Awards. Welcome, Nicole Levine.
Thank you.
Nicole, welcome.
It's a privilege to be here. Thank you.
It's an honor and privilege for us too. Plus, our Chief of Staff, Fun, and Magic at Unblinded, whose handle I was going through earlier while I had technical difficulty, she's named Nicole too. So at one point today, we had 3 Nicoles on the line. So incredible in this amazing show. So Nicole.
The trifecta.
Yes, trifecta. So what is your fun fact?
My fun fact, actually, and I told Michael to stay tuned. I didn't want to spoil it when we were speaking earlier, is that I am a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan, originally from the East Coast. Wow. And I made it a bucket list item a few years ago to see my birds play in every stadium. So COVID put a little wrench in it this year, but I'm on stadium number 9 and I'm slated for 10, 11, and 12 this year, including Denver, Detroit, and believe it or not, I've only been to the vet. I've never been to the link. So I'm coming home, Michael. We get to have a drink.
Awesome. That is awesome. And by the way, Bella and Michael, I see some coincidence that the Mile High city was the first city that Nicole mentioned, Denver. So I see some correlation to the role play. Was this planned by Olivia? Did you create this?
I did not create this, but I'm curious of how Nicole got here because she's a real estate agent in Vegas, and I'm wondering if you possibly might know Denise Klein.
Denise Klein. The name sounds familiar. I can't picture her, but probably
if you knew her, you
very
would know.
small city.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a small city.
It is.
Very small city. And I still love my Flyers, Michael, but go Knights go.
Yeah. Ron Jaworski, Randall Cunningham. Nets are in the building. So amazing.
And by the
Randall,
way,
actually,
John Paul's movie is about the Eagles, is it not? The movie he's making right now is Eagles.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's about an Italian-American family from Philadelphia, and it's based on multi-generational co-writer whose great-grandfather played for the team before the Philadelphia Eagles that became the Philadelphia Eagles. And,
how cool.
It's all about them gathering together in one day a year against their most hated rival, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, no, Bella.
Yes. And
So
by the way,
it
Sean, Randall
takes
Randall
place over the course of a day. Huh? What's that?
I said, and by the way, Sean, Randall Cunningham lives in Vegas now.
Oh my God. Like this is an endless series of these synchronistic events beyond explanation.
It really is.
It reminded me of Serendipity, the amazing dessert restaurant in New York. Serendipity.
We're all connected.
We are. Absolutely. So Gina, we got one more judge.
We do. I am just like, my breath is taken away today. It's incredible. Janae Steele is a New York licensed entertainment attorney who specializes in music law and attended University of Texas in Austin. I just had to say that for sure. Bella, more connected.
God, this is crazy. Crazy.
Oh my, it's like incredible. After law school, she went to New York City and began her entertainment law career at William Morris Endeavor. And I had a temporary role at Warner Music Group and Alternative Distribution Group. All right, maybe I'm saying too many words here. She's currently freelancing with the law office of Jeffrey B. Gandel, and she is here with us today. Welcome, Janae.
Janae, how are you?
How are you?
We're doing wonderfully and very thankful for you being here. And would you mind sharing your fun fact, please, Janae, with us?
My fun fact is that I have been both in the Amazon rainforest in Ecuador and in the Amazon River.
Nice. This is a wildly accomplished, adventurous, and eclectic group of experiential humans. So thank you, Janae, for being here very much. And are you ready, Janae, for some fun today?
I am.
All right, let's do this thing. Gina, we got one more person introduced. Would you hit us?
I will. This is the one and only Bella Verita, the sales sorcerer. She started selling at the age of 8 years old, crafts on her front lawn, taking those skills into the network marketing business and building a 7-figure business in network marketing, leading many others to build their 6-figure businesses. And when that company shut down, she went into business brokerage, building the #1 business brokerage in the state of Nevada. She's known for her sales sorcery, but by the way, she's also known for her heart, her love, her integrity, her truth, her acknowledging others who they really, really are and stands for greatness. She's a female sales recruiting rock star and owns, that's her agency, Align Sales is, where she's the CEO. And she doubles sales revenues, increases sales conversions, places sales unicorns to help companies scale to grow their money, time, and magic. And she is here with us.
Bella Vreda, welcome to the party.
Well, thank you. There's no party unless I'm here.
That is true. And what is your fun fact for today, Miss Bella Vreda? Come on, Bella, let's go.
I'm not sure which is more fun. I don't know which is more fun is the fact that, you caused and led a team to raise $416,000 for the American Foundation for the Blind in 3.5 days, winning the business mastery. I don't know if that's more fun or the fact that I had my first coaching call with John Meng and he said that he hopes his call with you is as good as his call with me.
Bella Vreda, there is nobody better. You're extraordinary. That is beautiful. And thank you.
You're pretty extraordinary. I mean, you did some pretty extraordinary things yesterday. So when he made that compliment today, I was like, this could be a fun day.
Yes. Well, Bella, you're awesome. Couldn't be more grateful. Gina, you're awesome. You cause leadership. Your journey over the past 6 months and your rise in leadership and integrous influence has been nothing short of mind-boggling, earth-shattering. And thank you for doing what you do, Gina.
Goodness, well, thank you for causing that in me and so many others, Sean. I am honored and grateful to be here. And it's time for you guys to play, and you're going to have an amazing time. And welcome, you're about to step into the multiverse. Have fun, everybody. Love you.
Right, thank you. Awesome. We love multiverses, Bella.
There's lots of multiverses like happening here. There's like Austin, because I'm from Austin as well, Janae. And then I lived in Vegas for 20 years. I'm like cannabis. My sister lived in Atlanta. Like there's all kinds of cross connections here.
There is. So love you guys. Amazingness is about to unfold. Bella, who do you think should go first today?
I definitely think it should be Michael.
Michael, are you ready, my friend? Since you've been to the Supreme Court, Bella's like, yeah, Michael's ready to roll.
Yep, he's got this.
Yeah, I've been there twice. Okay. So do you want me to tell you what role I'd like you to play?
Yeah, are you going to tell him what to do, Sean?
Yeah, I think Michael's tracking. Yeah, so Bella will be anybody you want her to be. Somebody you're seeking a yes from. You'll have 6 minutes. Be cut off at about 3 minutes to get some judging the first round on the opening of listening, the depth of connection, putting something at stake. So, Michael, who would you like Bella to be?
I would like Bella to be either someone in the New Jersey governor's office or the executive director of the Cannabis Regulatory Commission of the state of New Jersey.
Bella, you want to be the executive director of the cannabis people?
I don't know. What do you think, Sean?
I think you should be the executive director of the cannabis people. I think that's
all
fine.
right. I'm executive director of the cannabis people.
Yes.
These are the people who are going to be regulating.
Yeah, so you're the one creating all kinds of rules, Bella. You're limiting people. You're doing all kinds of things that you don't like people doing.
This is definitely a role, then. This is definitely not real life.
All right, Michael, please take us in.
Hi, Bella. How are you?
I'm extraordinary, Michael. How about yourself?
I am doing well. I know you're a very busy person these days with, you've had the legislation passed a month ago, and congratulations. I'm glad that yesterday the commission was fully sourced and that you're formed. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I would really like to talk to you about the possibility of working with the commission as a staff attorney, and working on the commission as a person who could offer some insight and influence on the creation of the regulations. I know that this is an extremely difficult time, that you've got to get off to a very fast start. You have 6 months under the statute to do it, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with.
Yeah. So what has you, what has you interested in this position?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Really, what makes me very interested in the position is that I've been very much an involved advocate with regard to legalizing and regulating cannabis in the state of New Jersey. And now that you guys are going to be in charge of putting those regulations together, I think you need somebody who's actually had boots on the ground experience in dealing with people who've had run-ins with the law enforcement, but also people who have.
Oh, so you've had run-ins with the law in regards to cannabis. Is that what I just heard?
Unfortunately, no. But I actually am not a consumer, but I have had numerous clients who I've had to represent over the years as a municipal court attorney in courts. I've helped them out with their cases, and I wanted to make sure and work toward getting the best outcomes in terms of the regulations so that they can be best represented in the new industry, so that those people who were harmed by the drug war are rewarded by the benefits we're going to get from the end of the drug war. So I think that we need somebody on there who is very detail oriented. I am extremely detail oriented, and we need somebody who's willing and ready to move very fast. We've got New York who's passing this week. Their adult use is going into effect this week. So we need to move quickly. A lot of your competitors are going to be chomping at the bit, and we need to be very much right at the front of it. And I want to help my state, the state of New Jersey.
You just got a knock at the door?
Yeah, Bella, real quick, I do. Yes, I have your stack of magazines about everything that's wrong with cannabis in the world and why nobody should go near it. Where should I put them?
Oh, I thought it was my medical marijuana delivery. Magazine. Just leave them outside.
All right, we'll be right back. So, Michael, excellent work, my friend. How was that for you?
It was fun. I'm really looking forward to the possibility of having this actual call. So having the chance to play act it before it actually happens is something that I really wanted to try.
All right. Well, we can lean in on that in a minute, a little further. So excellent job. We'll be right back for round two. Michael, excellent. John, are you ready?
Sure.
Who would you like Bella to be, please?
Potential investor.
Nice. Bella, you're a potential investor. Are you ready? You got some bucks. They're burning a hole in your pocket or not. It's like go to the casino or talk to John. Are you ready?
Well, now that you mentioned casino, yes, I'm ready.
Take us in.
Hi, John. It's Bella.
Hi, Bella. It's a pleasure to have a chance to talk with you today. I wanted to just tell you a little bit about my background. I've worked in sales, tech, banking, and independent film for the last 25 years.
Tech, banking, and independent films. That's a variety.
Yeah. As an independent film producer, I decided after working on these big budget studio films, I saw an opportunity to move over into the digital space in 2008, where I launched my company, No Restrictions Entertainment, with Edgar Michael Bravo, an industry veteran from UCLA and had won previous awards. And we started taking all of our scripts out and trying to pitch them to studios. And while we got far along the way, it wasn't until I was 80% financed after 3.5 years of working with New Market Films right after The Passion of the Christ and having the whole project fall apart in a weekend, I said, I never want to be in this position ever again for all the blood, sweat, and tears that I'd put into it. So we decided what we wanted to do was we wanted to make our own movies that we could do without having to wait on Hollywood to greenlight it. And what I discovered through social media and building an online fan base coming into now was watching the trends from Netflix destroying Blockbuster and Hollywood video to then going to streaming and taking over all of cable in 2017, and now going into a distribution and production studio. That is something I saw for independent filmmakers 10 years ago when I gave an interview to a German newspaper. And I said, one day, all of our films will be up on a website, our own independent website, where we'll be selling them and doing marketing. So come full circle now, 6 films later and a 7th one about to go into production, we're building No Restrictions Studios, which is a 21st century production studio, distribution, and it combines all of the sustainable decentralization platforms that are currently out there, but it's on a scalable level. What that means is this: for the price that Hollywood can produce a movie, I can do it at 1/10 of the cost, because what I know is through my creative endeavor of making these micro budget indies at a high quality, I find people that are emerging from school or have a need and a want to take their career up to the next level, but they have the talent. They just don't have the work involved yet or the experience to get to the next stage. So we have created a system that allows us to identify new talent that comes out of film school who can shoot, write, direct, edit, do sound editing, all on a laptop, which reduces your overhead and makes our films economic.
Hey, Bella, excuse me, I'm so sorry. It's Disney calling, and they have a new investment opportunity and some movies they're making, Bella. So can we take a quick pause?
Yes, it's the voice of God that has spoken. Yeah.
Excellent job, John. Love what you're doing. I can't wait to hear round 2. And we always have a little bit of fun with our disruptions for Miss Bella. How would that feel for you?
Overall, I felt okay. I felt like I needed to shorten things and articulate key points to get to where my ask was.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I know so much information, but it's trying to consolidate that into digestible points. And that's what I want to practice on, and at least get to the what am I asking and building towards.
Awesome. So excellent. So let me ask this question, because I'm here to serve. And both you, John, and you, Michael, have articulated a deeply meaningful desire to get yeses and the things you're seeking. Like, I could feel the energy. Like, this is like really meaningful. Some people come on, it's more fun. Some people are coming on in different spaces. How about this? What if we have each of you, because I usually do one role play demonstration myself. How about if in the second round, and I'll give each of the choice. It's totally fine. If you want, I've never done this before. I'm just a thought in service of you.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Would you want me to do, if you want, would you prefer, I'll give you the choice. Would you want to do a 1 minute second round each, and then have me do a version for 3 minutes of each of you? Or would you rather take your full 3 minutes? I have no ego on it ever. I'm here in service of, so whatever you choose.
I give it over to Michael to answer that, since he went first.
Yeah, Michael.
Honestly, I like the idea of doing the 1 and then the 3, just because it lets us follow up with Bella. Maybe she can pass it to you as the next person, as the person up the chain who can make the decision.
Cool. All right. How do you feel about that, John?
Yeah, that sounds great. In the 1 minute follow up, is that just kind of like a conclude, like a drive home, or is it sort of a
You would no, you'd be taking it home. So your final minute, just to be like, you got 1 more minute to get to whatever the yes is that you're looking for.
Okay.
And by the way, the yes doesn't have to be an investment. The yes could be just a longer meeting, right? Just your opening listening, and we'll talk about all that. So, and we'll come back and finalize this in a second. But let's first start with let's go with California, Nicole. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Could you give 30 seconds feedback? And we'll go 15 seconds on what worked, 15 seconds on what could be optimized, and then a score on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay.
And when you're out of time, you'll hear me say, and so your score is, and that is your polite courtesy of let's round it up and give your score.
Also known as the voice of the queen and goddess of time. How does that sound?
I like it. The goddess of time.
So please, Nicole, take us in.
Okay. So do you want me to go over my ideal client?
No, you're giving a score to Michael. You're assessing 15 seconds on how he did, what he did well, 15 seconds of what he could do potentially more optimally, and then a score.
Let's see. So I think he did very well with the pitch, but you got to shorten it up and get more direct to the point, more direct to the yes, I would say. So I always get results when I stay short and sweet.
Nice.
That's it.
Your score?
I'm gonna say, so on a scale from 1 to 15.
1 to 10.
1 to 10. I'm gonna give it like a 7.
Okay. And how about what you have for John?
John, 7 too. Same thing. Got to keep it a little bit shorter and sweeter and directly to the point. I always try to get the top 5 topics that I want to get out to people, because those are the most important things that people need to know. Because if we give them too much information, their brain goes haywire and they get really confused, and it's hard for people to make a decision with too much information, because our attention span is between 5 and 7 seconds.
Nice. Nicole, excellent
And
job.
your score is? Oh, it was 7, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And how about Nicole? Let's go with our other amazing Nicole.
Other amazing Nicole chiming in. So one thing that Gina missed in the bio, because my bio is obviously too long, is that I am a coach and sales trainer. I used to work for a real estate sales coaching team. So with your permission, Michael, I've got hopefully some great feedback for you. Number one is, when we were talking previous to like going live, you have a great smile. You have a great energy. And I've always been trained that energy enthusiasm wins 90% of the time. So, you know, your voice when you were pitching was very monotone and very subdued, which I get. This is a really important position. Power person you're talking to, you want to be serious. You're clearly very educated and knowledgeable about the topic, but smile when you're talking. They can hear it over the phone. And that would be my best feedback, is bring some energy, some enthusiasm.
Your score is?
I would probably say a 7 as well.
Nice. Thank you for that, Nicole. And how about for John? Countdown 25 seconds.
And your feedback for John?
Which Nicole?
You.
Okay.
Real estate and sales training genius, Nicole.
Yeah.
Thank you. Too kind. John Paul, again, same thing. Super like passionate. I feel the passion that Sean feels as well, in that, you know, you've got these projects and you want this money so you can make these things a reality for everyone in the world. We just got to tighten it up and stick to the main points. And then I never heard a close because we ran out of time, but yeah. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. What is it that you want from me? I've got money. How do you want to use it? What do you want me to do for you?
Okay.
And your score is?
I would probably say about a 6. Go for it. John Paul, go for it.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Nicole. And let's go, Janae. Janae, please, what do you got for Michael?
You're on mute, Janae.
Don't mute it.
Sorry. Okay. So for Michael, this is obviously an area where you're very experienced in. And so like, don't be afraid to flex your experience first. Get to the point of why they need you now. You got towards the competition to New York at the end. I think bringing that in earlier, as far as your competitors in New York versus what you can do to help New Jersey sooner, would be so much better, and why then you're the best person to solve it quickly. Like,
and your score is?
7.
Nice.
For John Paul, I wasn't 100% sure what we were investing in. Was it the overall entertainment company? Was it a specific film? I got a lot of information, but I didn't know what to do with that information.
Okay. Yep.
And so I think just getting right to the film of it all, like hearing about your background is only helpful if it helps me make a decision as far as how I'm going to be spending my money.
Okay.
And so focusing on the part of the background that is only about the entertainment in the film. Oh, my score, a 6.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, we are ready for round 2. We're going to flip it. 1 minute. Bella's going to make a decision. She just got off the phone with Disney. John, are you ready?
Yep.
All right, take us in.
Hi, Bella. I hope you had a great call with Disney there.
Yes.
I wanted to see if we could have a greater discussion about my company, No Restriction Studios, and what we're going to be building. That's a fraction of the cost of what Disney's going to charge you.
So you want to? What is it that you want?
I want to know if we can talk further about investment in a project and a product that is a fraction of the cost of what Disney will offer you. if you would be interested in talking about high quality. Like the films that we make are bold, authentic. They're vastly different from what Los Angeles and Hollywood offers. We go right to the core of stories that deal with the human element in every single one of our stories, a very authentic and real story.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. John, thank you for that, my friend. And let's go, Michael. You ready for your 1 minute?
Yep.
Please take us in. Seconds.
Bella, I'm glad you got your delivery. Everything go okay?
It was a bunch of magazines, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something. And let me just give you the bottom line on this. New Jersey is important to me, and New Jersey doing cannabis right is important to me. And I want to make sure that you have somebody in your corner, in our corner, that's doing it right and that wants to do it right. So what I'd like to ask you while you have a chance is to bring me in for an interview to see how I can help, how I can come in and offer the experience and service that I have to the Cannabis Regulatory Commission and to you in order to help our state become the best in the nation.
Definitely. Thank you for that, Michael.
Thank you.
Michael, excellent job, my friend. So Michael, John, you guys ready to have a little bit of fun?
So wait, before you do that, Sean, before you do that, I would like to drop in a couple of like key notes here for people who may not like understand the value of what is about to happen. So, you know, the what is about to happen is the drop of a formula that not only did Sean use to win top 100 national jury verdicts. So he's only one of 2 attorneys out of 1.2 million attorneys that has won a top 100 national jury verdict. He has been on Tony Robbins' stage to raise $1.7 million in 26 minutes to end sex trafficking. Just raised, over $400,000. Was part of a team to raise over $400,000, all using in 3 days, and has also sold like $10 million in like 9 minutes from Tony Robbins' stage. And Tony Robbins calls Sean Callagy his coach and his friend. So what is about to happen? Because I've never seen Sean do this. I've never seen him do this on one of these shows. And I know that both of you spoke so much to his heart to cause this to happen. And so I just wanted to put into context like what is actually about to happen and the gift that is about to be dropped. So back to you, Sean.
Thank you, Bill. Listen, I love these guys. I feel their heart. I feel their energy. I feel their intention. The fact that John Paul is, that I heard it, right? Level 5 listening, I heard that he made people a ton of money. He gave his heart, his soul, achieved his dreams, it sounds like, in many, many ways, and is here to raise his financial abundance and achieve appropriate reward for his work, his effort, his care, his passion, his freedom to create, his acceleration, and leaving truly the mark that he wants to leave in the world in even a broader way. Am I hearing you correctly, John Paul?
That is 100% correct. Yes.
All right, brother. So may I have the privilege of playing you for a couple minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. And how about you are an investor? Sound good?
Yep. That sounds great.
John Paul, and maybe you could be, Jim, the investor. Sound good?
Okay.
All right. So, hey, Jim, I really appreciate the time. I know Rob, our friend in common, said that you're interested in investing in different things and that you're a little bit more new to the space of entertainment. So first, thanks for taking the 3 minutes to see if it makes sense for us having a longer meeting. So I appreciate that, Jim.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Yeah. So Jim, when you're looking to invest at this stage, what's driving you? What's the mission? I know you've achieved a meaningful level of financial abundance. And are you looking for return on investment, the greatest exponentiality possible? Are you looking for impact? You're looking for fun, magic? Like what's present for you as you look at this meeting potentially and investing overall?
I believe in investing in people. And I believe that when I look at people that I invest in, I believe that they are able to do what they say they're going to do. that's ultimately my drive.
Yeah.
And my motivation to do that is those who are taking and breaking the status quo to create a new paradigm or a new idea, something that is original, not replicating old business models, but ones that sort of break the paradigm and break that breakout with art. I mean, the reason why I would invest in film is because art is opening your mind rather than closing it or being dictating, information.
Well, Jim, thank you for that. I know we have a little over a minute to go. So with me hearing clearly your desire for integrity, like the keeping of word, your desire for originality and impact, may I share a little bit about my background?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah. So thank you. So my name is John Paul. I've been part of some, as you saw in my bio, I'm sure already, some of the most successful films or very successful films in Hollywood. And that journey taught me a bunch. It taught me about breaches of integrity. It taught me about the power of my ability to create monetization. And it also showed me how more limited thinking could restrict the power and creativity of what people actually want. So Jim, what I stand for, and I'll demonstrate to you if we have a 30-minute meeting, is that we can make movies that certainly make money, but will also disrupt Hollywood's cookie cutter approach for the most part of making film. And you go, well, everybody says that. I believe in the power of context and contrast, the breaking of formula, the creating of more emotional and energetic transference through consistent balancing and shifting of fun, aspirational goddess and Zeus energy, the power of not a formula like a script, but a mechanism that creates the greatest level of influence imaginable. And if you grant me that meeting, sir, with an open mind, I will blow your mind in half an hour to demonstrate I could do everything I just articulated. So how does that or not resonate for you, Jim?
It resonates with me 100%. Really
Awesome.
does. Yeah.
Out of roll? Okay. So John Paul, how did that
Do you
feel?
want to be a film producer, Sean?
How did that feel for you, my friend?
It feels great. It hits all the points that I really want to make, but it does so in such an organized, structured way that I like what you did because it reminded me of the sales technique, which is to say what you're going to say, then say it back to the person, like so that there's clarity at each point. So there's agreement at each point. And then those agreements that they're making will lead you to the next opportunity.
So my friend, thank you. But that was probably one of 75 things that happened in that 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I've studied for 2 decades how to do this and can break down every bit of influence in the world. I've studied every sales training, influence training, and I actually have a bet out there in the world. I've challenged people like Grant Cardone, who claim to be in sales training, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but we're really doing harm to people by talking about pitching, hooking, closing, overpowering. We, in fact, don't use the word closing because fundamentally, would you want me to close your mother? If like I shut this and say, hey, hey, Belle, I think we closed John Paul. How would you feel about me?
Yeah, because you're like an object to just be used.
Exactly. The objectification of people is the opposite of integrous influence. So we could dig deeper at a later time, but like I'll pause there and jump over.
I really appreciate it, Sean. It's it resonates with everything that I feel inside.
And this is recorded, guys, by the way, so you have it. So Michael, would you give permission to be you?
Please.
Yeah. Awesome. And how about you are that regulator? Who would you like to be? How would I serve you most? Who would you like to be? Same person as Belle? Different.
Actually, I think you being me and me being the executive director, because I know him, at least I know enough about him to be able to play his role, pretty well. I know what I would expect in a conversation with him.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. So and this conversation again will be about having a longer conversation like you were seeking. And then what's this person's first name? What first name would you like to use?
I'm going to go with, I'll even use the guy's name, Jeff Brown, who is the executive director of the medical marijuana program in New Jersey, but also of the Cannabis Regulatory Commission.
Awesome. All right. So, Jeff, thank you so much for taking the time to have this conversation with me today. I really appreciate what you're doing. I know these are uncharted waters. There's all sorts of dynamics that are present. I can't even imagine how much is coming at you. So congratulations on your new appointment. And what's this all about for you, Jeff?
Well, you know, it's been busy. Lately, we've been dealing with getting the regulatory commission sourced and staffed. And I'm glad you reached out, because we do need to get people in here to staff this position. But we've had a lot of political influences and things like that that are really pulling at us from different angles.
Yeah. And so what are you looking to accomplish, Jeff, in this role? I know about getting it staffed, but setting a larger vision, what does success look like for you, Jeff, in moving this mission forward?
I really want to make sure that we first take care of the patients in New Jersey, the medical marijuana patients. Then when we go to adult use, that we do that correctly, and that we make sure that we do that correctly. And also that we answer the unanswered questions, like how can we determine if somebody's intoxicated by marijuana, and determining things like that. Though he would never say marijuana, he would say cannabis. But,
Understood by cannabis. So I'm hearing protection of the public from potential distinctions that might arise, clearly political hot button issues. But how do you know, bottom line, when you win? Before I share just a little bit for the final 60 seconds, how do you know when this works and you've done your job amazingly well, and you put your head in the pillow and go, we got this?
I think when I've made the least amount of mistakes, frankly, because a lot of the other states out there, and I'm working with the other regulators around the country, have been doing this, and they've made quite a few mistakes. And I want to make the least amount of mistakes in my role to get to the point where we have a great regulated industry that's safe, that's equal, and that continues and promotes social equity.
Yeah. And what's final? What's the biggest mistake you've seen out there?
Probably it was done by us, and that was probably on some of our scoring on the 2018 RFA that you know about. Yeah, but with regard to that, it was that we didn't score properly on how we were going to get different applicants in. We need to bring in the right experts to be able to tell us how to do that right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. In the final 45 seconds or so we have here, I'd appreciate the opportunity to serve this mission. I'm hearing your stress. I'm hearing the possibilities. I'm hearing a desire to avoid mistakes. And very candidly, what you'll have with me, and I'll demonstrate that to you if you grant me a 30-minute interview, what you'll know from me is I've been to the United States Supreme Court twice. I've studied these issues with absolute fervor and intensity, because it runs to the deepest personal core, is the inner sanctum of the United States Supreme Court. And what I would stand for is this. With respect, Jeff, we want to minimize making mistakes, but you're going to have people coming at you all day, every day, saying what you did was a mistake, misportraying, lying, politicizing, everything that's going to happen. And the most important thing is that you're able to articulate with absolute wisdom, integrous influence, why what you did was right, why what you did was researched, and why the attacks upon your decision-making are false. So if you grant me that interview, I will prove to you that I could support that outcome in serving the mission you laid out. How does that resonate for you, Jeff?
That sounds terrific, and I would love to meet with you.
Thank you. Out of roll. So, Michael, your thoughts?
I learned a lot. I learned it was more difficult to be in his seat than probably I had ever considered. I know a lot more of his personal issues than even other stuff. So I know that with regard to this, I'm really looking forward to that potential call eventually one day. But I'm hoping that I get the opportunity to express to him, as you did to me, that I have that ability to back him up in those moments. And if there's ever a moment of uncertainty, that I'm there to back him up.
2 quick takeaways, Michael, John Paul. And I love Nicole's opening the access to it in her feedback. Nicole, real estate and sales training master. When we think about influence, everything comes down to value. Value. In every moment, you're buying 5 more seconds of attention. In every second that you're working with somebody, the question is it valuable to invest money, time, energy? Money, time, energy. For everybody that's different. So one-on-one, it's way easier than a group dynamic. And the more masterful we become about varying the speaking into the listening of people, the more we're able to do the kinds of things that Bella talked about that are possible. So number one, it's all about value, and the journey to understanding, unpacking value as a masterful art form is a lifelong journey that we're not even close to mastering until the day we die, if we think about it 24/7. It has more variables than there are grains of the sand on the beaches of the world and drops in the ocean. So master value. The fun part about it is everybody stinks at it, so it's pretty easy to get there and be better. This journey to true mastery, like number one. Number two, right? We're thinking about every situation and talking to people, as Nicole created access to. Energetic transference is everything. And there's a variety of energies. I'm not going to unpack them, but how much energy we transfer, even with our pauses. So it doesn't have to be frenetic, crazy, driven. It can be heart-centered and loving and fun. And like Bella, you're absolutely amazing, but you're also crazy. The variety of our energy and our transference is what keeps listening open, adds value in the conversation, and deepens the likelihood of yes and action. So thank you guys for that. Bella Verita, how was that section for you?
It never surprises me when you like change things up to be of service. There is literally no one I have met on this planet that is more dedicated to being of service to human beings than yourself. And I love that you took the time and the opportunity to support both of these incredible human beings that are doing incredible things in the world, to give them the gift that you did. And, this has been, I know we get to feedback with the judges, but it's been an absolutely extraordinary show, from like Nicole Scott's story, and just like what is possible with the power of integrity-based human influence, the influence, the inspiration to get to that yes. Because I know what you left here today with will exponentially make a massive impact in both John Paul and Michael's life. So just thank you for recognizing what was needed in the moment and delivering it as you do all the time.
Well, thank you, Bella. Let's go with Nicole Scott. Quick 30 seconds or so on what you're experiencing, what's present for you.
I'm sorry, you're cutting out just a little bit. So can you repeat that?
So Nicole, the question is, and we're doing this slightly differently, but what feedback do you want to give on anything you just heard? Because normally we give direct feedback, but we went with a little different process to serve these fine guests. So what 30 seconds you want to add to what's happened so far?
One thing that I would say is when you're pinpointing what you can do, instead of you saying your result, you want to pinpoint how you can solve the problem, because the result is not pinpointing how you can solve the problem. You want to be the Tylenol to whatever problem is going on, so you can fix it if that's your niche. And that's what I recommend to everyone, is just be the Tylenol to that headache.
Excellent. And Nicole, how was your experience on The Real Raw today?
Amazing. So awesome.
All right. Well, thank you,
So glad
Nicole.
you were here.
Yeah, great job. And let's go with our other amazing Nicole. What do you have, Nicole?
Wow. First of all, the 1 minute each of the gentlemen took to clean up their original pitch was beautiful. They really absorbed the feedback and really just went with their gut and brought the energy. and the feedback and the demonstration you did, Sean, was just powerful. I love the way you just delved into the questions of like what makes the prospect tick and how you can, as Nicole Scott put it, be the Tylenol and like fill the need, the gap that they have in their organization or with their money that where they want to invest it. It's beautiful.
No, thank you. Appreciate that, Nicole. And thank you so much for being here. Really excellent work. And how was it for you today?
It was great. I learned a lot from you and just your approach and how heartfelt and loving that it was. Definitely different than real estate sales. And I hope that everyone learned as much as I did.
And I would give this distinction that in every single yes we're seeking, there's 4 different energies. And from a jury in the most vicious of civil cases to selling hot dogs on a street corner, to selling from the biggest stages in the world, to selling professional services. The dynamic of opening and connecting and reaching emotional decision-making, which is what drives all decision-making. Every single decision is driven by emotion, with people looking for a logical hook to rest their decision on. Some people need to feel an energy that's different to cloak their emotional decision-making and their false logic. But everybody makes those decisions emotionally. So thank you, Nicole, for being here so much today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Janae, what say you? How was your experience on the Real Raw today?
I think it was great. I'm in the process of actually interviewing for my next full-time, like long-term position. And so just even hearing the tactics that you use, and I don't want to say tactics because it sounds so ingenuine, but like the methods that you use to connect and discover what the other person is really looking for to show that you are that are really just applicable to what I'm doing every day when I'm interviewing.
Awesome.
So I think it's great. I also think that I saw both Michael and John Paul do more with less time in feedback. And so it's just amazing how coachable both of them really were, because they were really open to learning more. So I just think that it's been a great experience, and it was awesome to watch those two grow so quickly.
Awesome. Thank you. And for your candor, your feedback, and all the judges, Nicole, Janae, your courage in speaking the truth and the feedback you gave in round 1 is how we get better. You know, John Paul and Michael did beautiful jobs, but for all of us, our level of influence is not who we are. It's not our worthiness. It's like just a skill set is all it is to reveal truth. And so great job with the feedback, Nicole, and Janae. Thank you. John Paul, how was today for you, my friend?
I felt like this was long overdue for me because I'm about to go and pitch for $60,000, which is a very small amount of money for one film. But building the studio is the one that's going to take millions.
Right.
And we want to do it in a scalable way. I do podcasts, I do talking all the time, but it's trying to refine and get right into those points that everyone mentioned. That has always been my difficult challenge because my brain just has so much information in it. And I want to make it so that it's simplistic yet effective in the emotion, because I agree with you, Sean, that you made a great point. We don't make decisions based on our thoughts alone. Our thoughts must agree with the emotion that we're feeling. And that's where people make decisions based on emotion, even though they have a logical way about them or illogical way about them. That's ultimately what drives us, is how we feel. So I love the feedback because, like I said earlier, I hear it in my head, I see it in my head, but it's got to make sense to all the people receiving it. Otherwise, it's like great opportunities go to waste, potential goes to waste. And it's all in the way you articulate with your passion, because that feeling, what I think it was Nicole Levine said, is that you can change a room instantly with enthusiasm and passion, more so than the way you articulate, because it's an authentic, spontaneous energy that everybody goes, what's going on over here? Absolutely. And it's being able to take that but move it through the steps that each one of you effectively articulated in valid criticism, to say, yes, you have all that energy and enthusiasm and passion, but you're going to lose the audience very quickly after 7 seconds. if you don't get right to what you need, and use all the tools of who you are to make that happen. Just put it in a structure.
Yeah. And I've walked into a room of 5,000 people, 15,000 people, closed listening, and reopened it in 30 seconds, reopened it in 7 seconds. The ability to like create a scotoma and open listening with, from your film world, cold openings, energetic shifting and transference, immediately grabbing attention, doing things that people are not expecting you to do that are congruent things. And we could talk about this all day. So thank you, John Paul.
Thank you. And thanks all the panelists and the judges. I really appreciate it. Sincerely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael, how was today for you, my friend? Thank you for your brilliance and wisdom and Supreme Courtness and mission being here. But how was today for you?
It was particularly educational and useful. I would say that one of the biggest challenges I face is that I can see a lot of facts, a lot of black letter law, but I tend to lose a lot of my emotion. I don't know that my emotions are worn on my face as much and through my voice as much as I received in the feedback. And I know, and everybody who knows me knows, that I have a lot of passion about different things and a lot of passion for different things that I get involved in. I get very into niches, and I've gotten into the municipal court niche, and I did IP for a while, and I got even into property tax appeals. I mean, those are things that I'm able to get into those niches, and to see that when you get into a borough, that sometimes you lose the scope of everything, and that has to be the emotions of the people that you're dealing with. So.
Well, thank you for being here. And yes, I have the largest privilege of having the largest jury verdict in the last decade in the state of Arizona. In a case, we had a $0 offer, which meant the other side laughed at it and said it was unwinnable. And we not only won, but got an 8-figure punitive damage award for a $27 million verdict. The judge in the case was extraordinary, except he said no emotion in my courtroom, no emotion. And the irony of it was, in a longer story for a different day, that in the end, he was completely ethical and integrous and emotionally engaged, because everybody makes their decisions emotionally, even if we kid ourselves and pretend we don't. So, Michael, great job. For all of you, we're going to wrap this up because it's been a lengthy, beautiful day together and an orthodox and unique day together. If you have the money you want, all the money you want, you make as much money as you would like to, you have all of the financial abundance personally you'd like to, and you have all the time freedom you want to, and you have all the magic, the pride, the connection, the love, the growth, all of it. If you have all of those things, then I'm sorry I wasted your time today. And then we invited you here. If you don't let this end, and I mean it with all my heart, have a strategy call with one of our team, and nobody will sell you. Nobody will push you. But on the other side, that's how I met Bella. And Bella saw everything in the coaching world. And she told you what Tony Robbins said about me. It's true. And that's why I'm on stage there, to be the person that moves people forward into making decisions about their future in Platinum Partnership, is because there is a world out there of suboptimal information, of suboptimal mechanisms to actualize the information we learn. And that's what Unblinded is here to do. So thank you for today. And Bella Verita, final.
Yeah, I would say, today has been a unique and extraordinary day. And, the Hello to Yes formula is about more time, money, and magic. And there's nobody that is a stand for that more than Sean. And, people in Unblinded have gone from like 6 sales meetings a month to 600 sales meetings a month using that formula, which is unpacked every Monday night on Clubhouse. So we invite you to have a strategy call. We invite you to join us on Clubhouse on Monday nights. There's definitely different ways to get involved, and just everyone that was here was absolutely extraordinary. And so we are so blessed and so grateful for your time today. Back to you, Sean.
And if this is the end, we bid you adieu. We will wipe a tear, and we will miss you. But I suggest that not be the end. Nicole, Janae, Michael, John, Paul, we stand for that. We have an amazing ecosystem acceleration. We are accelerating at a level that no other company in the world in the training and personal development space is, because what we deliver doesn't exist. We love you guys. Have a beautiful, thankful Thursday. It's been an honor and a privilege. And Bella Verita, we were all blind
and just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.